Hi everyone, now we're going to kind of set the stage for some of the problem solving that will be coming up, and we will be using ratios and cross multiplying and dividing to answer some questions, but we're just going to start with kind of a very simple and straightforward lesson here on working with ratios. And essentially the goal of this lesson is to take the information that may or may not be given to you, or sorry, may be given to you, and writing it into proper ratios. So, I don't need to read this word for word, but if you read this, you have a cook at a restaurant and you have different recipes, and it's important with ratios that if you are considering a recipe, that things have to be done properly. Like for example, if you look at this example, if you want to make this chicken soup properly, you have to have everything put together in the proper amounts or proportions. So for example, you have to have 11 cups of seasoned broth along with 5 cups of diced vegetables. If you went with 11 cups of seasoned broth and 4 cups of diced vegetables, the recipe would not turn out the same. So it is very important to be able to take the information from a question and realize what they're trying to communicate with you. And that simply is the proportions, how things must go together. So for example, the question right here says, write the ratios for each of the following relationships. Well, vegetables to chicken. Okay, so here's the vegetable. I'm just going to erase this circle that I drew. It's very sloppy. Sorry about that. So they say vegetables to chicken. Well, vegetables to chicken, that's going to be a 5-to-3 ratio. So if you had a pot, you had to put 5 servings of vegetables in, and you'd have to put in 3 pieces of chicken. Okay, and that's the only way that this would work out properly. If they say broth to chicken, well, you have 11 broth units, and it should be for chicken, or for vegetables it should be 5. So essentially what you need to do in this lesson is be able to take the information out and write it into a proper ratio. Now the one thing here is, and I understand this is an important lesson, but I would like to point out one other thing. Writing things in fractions also works. And what I mean by that is if I look at A again, A said vegetables to chicken. And we know vegetables to chicken, so that was a 5-to-3 ratio. Vegetables to chicken. I seem to prefer writing like this because I believe it sets us up much better for cross multiplying and dividing. I personally have no problem if you were to go like this. There's your fraction line. You have 5 vegetables or 5 vegetables are required as long as 3 units of chicken. So when you go through this, you can feel free to write it in ratio form, but I really like this because I think it leads us better down the road. So I'll do another example for you here. Let's do C, which says chicken to rice. So chicken to rice, so that would be in ratio form, that would be 3, and rice was 3, which I know can be reduced. But I also like that in fraction form. So 3, you'd have 3 cups of chicken over 3 rice. So I would take either of these. And I really do like the fraction form better. If I cheat and go down here, I'll do one of these for you. It says for number 1, a conveyor belt has 2 pulleys. Okay, one pulley has a diameter of 45 centimeters and the other has a diameter of 20. What is the ratio of the smaller to larger diameter? So you might be asking, well, okay, fine. First of all, it's pretty easy. But there is an order to this. It does say the smaller to the larger. So the smaller pulley has a diameter of 20 centimeters. So you'd put 20 centimeters. And in ratio form, you'd put your colon to 45. And yes, I do know this could be simplified, but I do not believe that it's required for this. But it's funny, everyone, I really like this. I prefer this method much better. I like going 20 centimeters over 45 centimeters. Now, I know that kind of goes against the title of the lesson, but I believe if you write your ratios like that, your life will be much better off, really with where we're going here quite soon. Anyway, this is a very short lesson, but I think it's important to be able to gauge the information that's given to you, write it in the proper form, and then eventually use that to solve for an unknown value.